Hello everybody, Reggie Time here, and in just a moment we're going to be looking at some hands I played just this morning on the Party Poker Fast Forward Street under my new unknown screen name, which is nice for me. And yeah, we've got that many hands marked. How many hands do we have marked? About 10. Shouldn't take us too long to get through them. We're going to look at them, then we're going to look at how I played them, and then we're going to look at how GTO Wizard would have played them and see if there's anything to learn from the discrepancy between what I did and the reasons why I did it and what GTO would have done. This first hand, it's kind of not really ideal for GTO because of villain stack size. He opened. I don't know. Didn't know the player from a hole in the wall. Don't know if it's a fish. Don't know if it's someone trying to play a quote unquote short pro short stacking style. Don't know, to be honest. Um, we three bet the king queen suited at this stack depth. I don't know what I would do if he four bet ripped. I'd probably fold. So straight away, I don't know if that's a mistake or not. Anyway, it doesn't matter because villain calls. We get a flop that I was thoroughly deflated to see. Villain checks. I don't think there's any betting here. Maybe there is, but if there is, I don't know where to find it. I think like my range is like my offsuit stuff with the spades probably going to bet. Over pairs with or without a spade probably going to bet. My bluffs, I guess, are going to come from like the ace of spades, the king of spades, that type of thing. I don't know, frankly. Maybe we just don't have any bluffs here. Maybe we just don't bluff very often. I'm not saying we don't have any, but you know what I mean. Anyway, turn is a total brick. Villain checks again. I'm not sure if we should start betting now to try and fold out some ace X, ace king, maybe that doesn't fall, but ace queen, ace 10. Don't know, frankly, just don't know. We check back. Ruby's a 4. Brilliant checks again, and I think I missed a bluff here because I did end up checking back. And I think at this point we just have to bluff. Villain probably isn't folding any pocket pairs, but he's going to have quite a lot of ace high here that probably has to fold. What size would I go? Probably quite big. I mean, assuming this was 100 bigs deep, I'd probably maybe hit the pot button. Maybe slight overbet. Because I think we'd probably have hands like kings, aces, queens in this line sometimes. Maybe that an hour full house. Maybe we wouldn't. I don't fucking know. Yeah, bit of a cluster of a hand because of how shallow we started. But yeah, I butchered it, I think, and we're going to see how much I butchered it. So I had this one already preloaded. We are meant to three bet. We are getting the basically results maybe inaccurate because of the guy's stack depth. We did three bet, which got us 2 ticks. Flop, we are checking back. We're only 40%. We're actually doing more betting than checking. Our bigger size is half pot. Some smaller sizes too. So that's something that I've learned straight away. Yeah, we check is like the 2 tick option, and it's the highest frequency option, but actually betting somewhere between. So if we just like randomly range bet 1/3 pot here, because we've got like pretty equal split between the 3 sizes. I mean, small is favoured. The bigger we get, the less favoured it becomes. But I think if we just like range bet this as a simplification, we'd be doing just fine, I imagine. Turn 4, as played. We check back even less now. We are supposed to do some betting on the turn. Most favoured bet size is now 3/4 pot. I guess that's because now we just want to. We're going to be checking back maybe quite a few overpairs on the flop, and now we're just going to be like, right, okay, we don't have many overpairs anymore that want to check back. Let's see if that's actually true. Our turn betting range, I presume it's going to have quite a lot of overpairs in it. No, we're still checking back the overpairs. Well, checking back aces. Kings is starting to do a bit of betting. Queens is doing a lot of betting. Jacks is betting. But aces are still checking back. Ace force turn trips, that's betting. 10-4 suited, which I'm going to let you to secret I never have. Starts betting. 5-4 suited, which obviously I do, I know I have. Starts betting. Ace 4 off down here. You can't quite see on the screen capture. That starts doing a lot of betting. So yeah, I understand why we start doing a bit more betting on this turn. And then river, yeah, it's a pretty big mistake not to bet here. In fact, it's a blunder. We should, against this stack size, we apparently should just be all in. I wonder if is this still going to be solved for like the 30 big stack size? Villain checks. Yeah, it is. Sadly, it's still solved for this shitty stack size, which is unfortunate. And at this point, our aces are obviously jamming kings, queens, jack. We've got so much value here that wants to bet, that wants to like just jam back full houses. That yeah, this just becomes a mandatory bluff, doesn't it? So, hey ho, we butchered that one, but we live and learn. And basically, when in these 3-bet pot spots, when we got the king queens of the world, I guess when villain takes a very passive line for all 3 streets, we can. I mean, obviously, like on different boards, it wouldn't be the same. On these types of boards that are like where all of a sudden our overpairs become like really nutted, we can just start bluffing lots and lots of things. That's my takeaway anyway. Whether that's actually the true takeaway, I don't know. But that's the takeaway. That's what I'm taking away from it. Next hand, king queen suited. Villain opens. We 3-bet small blind. Villain calls. Ace high flop. I think it's an easy trap to fall into here is, oh yeah, just range bet, ace high dry board, and we got loads of ace X in our range, but we actually have loads of other stuff too that isn't ace X. So I don't think I like range betting this board. Maybe computer does it. Don't think I like it. Though not without any. We've got no spades. Any sort of spade on board, I'd go for it. But without a spade, we're drawing dead against an ace. Apart from like running 10 jack. So I just like check here. Checks back. Turn. No reason to just like start bluffing now, because I probably wouldn't be checking much ace X on the flop. So starting betting now doesn't make a ton of sense to me. Check again. Villain bets, and I think we just have an easy fold. Nothing much to say. Pre-flop we 3-bet, which was the 2-tick option. Flop, double tick check. Yeah, you can see we're getting all ticks here. Nothing to look at. Move on to the next one. Pocket sixes. We open blind versus blind. Big blind 3-bets. This is a spot I'm never comfortable in with these types of hands. I just find them really hard to play post flop. I mean, we have to defend it, but I find them really quite difficult. We call 9 high flop. We check. Villain bets 1/3. Seems like a no-brainer to me. Just call. Turn king. We check, and I just check folding here. Villain bets. I'm clearly going to be out of there. Villain checks back. River 8. Are there any blocks here? Maybe we can get caught by some ace highs. I don't know. Can we block here? That is my question. I think villain continue. If he has a king, I think he doesn't check the turn. Can he have stuff like queens and jacks, 10s, 9x? Yeah, it's too thin to block, I think. I think we just check again. I think it's too thin to block. Villain checks back. And villain had to give up with ace queen. But maybe would have called had we blocked. So here we go. Let's get into it. Raise pre 2 ticks. Call 2 ticks. Flop check 2 ticks. In fact, we're just going to keep going through because we're like 2 ticks the whole way until the river, and then we make a mistake on the river. Sorry, we clicked it too far. Yeah, block. Block was the play there. Block for 10%. Thought there might be blocks. Then I just convinced myself, no, we can't really block because villain has like lots of like 9x, 10s, jacks, queens in range. Let's see if they actually do. Let's see if that's actually fucking true. What is villain checking back on the turn? He's only checking queens back half the time. He's only checking jacks back half the time. So I guess no. I guess because he's still betting queens and jacks at like half the time. I guess it'll be suit related, but can't be asked looking into it because it just confuses me. He's still betting his 9x. Or some of his 9x. Yeah. So I guess because he's still betting all of them, his checking range is actually pretty fucking weak, I guess. He's checking some kings. Ace queen, obviously. 10-9's checking, 9-8's checking. Ace 4 we can get value from on the river. Ace deuce we can get value from on the river. Yeah. So I guess when he checks back and we block river, do we get to the river? What's going on here? Am I getting confused? Aha, yes. When we block, he's calling with a lot of stuff that we're just ahead of. Like we're beating ace queen, he's calling with ace jack, calling ace 4, calling ace deuce. We lose to 10-9, of course. Lose to his king x. Ace deuce off the screens calling. These 5x's are calling. Sorry, these 4x's are calling. Yeah, we just have a block on the river. So yeah, pleased with myself that I identified it as a spot we should block upon review. Not pleased with myself that I didn't find it in game. And would I find the 10% there? I doubt it. I'd probably be blocking for a bit bigger than that. Don't suppose it'll make a huge amount of difference. Have I closed it off now? Yeah, I've closed it off, so it's too late. It's not too late, but I can't be bothered. On to the next one. King 9 of clubs. This isn't a super standard 3-bet from me, but we're about to make it. Villain calls. I remember this hand. This hand was against someone who I thought was a bit of a try-hard, bit of a warrior. Probably why I 3-bet the hand, but maybe against these like really try-hard types, we just have less of this and more of the good stuff. Because we know that by a try-hard, I mean the people who don't fold to 3-bet speed, the people who are out there 3-betting a lot, the people who are out there 4-betting a lot, the people who are like out there post-flop just like making, well, in old school terminology, in old school parlance, making moves, etc. Maybe we don't try and outplay these guys by being too loose against them. You'd obviously got under my skin a little bit because this, as I said, this might be a mandatory 3-bet in theory, might not be for all I know, but in practice, I don't do this very often. I end up checking here, and this is just not a good board for us. Villain bets small, I think with 2 overs, backdoor everything, we no choice but call. Turn 5, absolutely useless for us, this board. Check, villain bets, and we just fold. Which I think is fine. I think as played, our line there is fine, but let's find out. Turns out our line isn't fine. We should have seen it the flop by the look of things. We've got the flop inaccuracy. So pre-flop, this is a 3-bet. 67% of the time. We can do some calling, which excites me a lot that we can have small blind calls these days. I do get excited by that. I wouldn't have identified this as one we could call, but clearly we can. We go with the 3-bet, and Why you got a flop inaccuracy then? Guess he wants us to raise because it's like checking to me 83% and just simplifying to checking pure, which I would do anyway. Villain bets 7.84 big blind. I just wants us to fold. That's why. Okay. So even though we've got like a ton of backdoor equity, he just wants us to fold right now. That's interesting for me to know because I didn't think we'd fold a bit two overs, although I accept the overs might be fucking useless. Two overs like backdoor straight draw, which is runner. Yeah, my cousin runner. It's backdoor. It's you fucking idiot. Just wants to fold, even versus like 1/3 pot. Interesting. Didn't think we would be folding there. It's just folding pure. It just goes to show how like quite a lot of the things I just didn't even think about this. I was just like, yeah, well, backdoors, overs, see your turn, Reg. I imagine in position we're never folding here. Out of position. Guess we just are. It's good to know. Pocket tens. Small blind opens. We 3-bet. Button calls. Flopping a set. We have a set this time. I mean, last time we had like a similar board when we 3-bet the king queen. We didn't c-bet the ace-high flop. I guess I'm going to go with the same thing again here. We check. Sadly, villain checks back. I would have been check raising there. Turn king. So that, right, okay. So Jack Queen's got there now, which we definitely have, and he definitely has. Definitely has. He doesn't have aces. You wouldn't imagine. He doesn't have kings. We can still have aces. We can still have kings. So I think we have like quite a big advantage here. Still, even though we checked the flop, I still think we retain quite a big advantage because I would have checked. I mean, I've obviously checked tens. I would have checked aces on the flop. I definitely would have checked kings. So I think we can just bet here. It's a matter of what size. I elect to go with big. I guess that's okay. I mean, I would want to, if I had a set of aces, I'd want to go big. If I had Jack Queen, I would want to go big. If I had a set of kings, I want to go big. With this exact hand, I want to go big. So I guess when I guess bluffing with my flush draws, I guess we just go big too because all our value wants to go bigger. That's my theory. That's how I'm thinking about this spot anyway. Let's see if I was on the right track. So here we go, looking at the spot. We can call again pre-flop 21% of the time. We did go with 3-bet, which is a 2-tick option. Flop is checking 70% of the time. We can have some bets here, whereas the king queen was never betting because we've got like better hand maybe. I don't fucking know because this hand just wants to bet. Anyway, check is the preferred option, which is what we do. Turn. He actually wanted overbet, which is cool. It's checking not very often, so it's correct to identify this is just not a spot that we're just going to be able to want to bet a lot. My 75% bet is used 25% of the time, but overbet is used even more. So yeah, I give myself, even though I only got one tick for that because it would have had overbet. I wouldn't typically find overbet in this spot, but you can rest assured I will start finding it now we've done this. Happy days. Here we have the ace king. Now this one's not a GTO spot, but it's interesting, so I'm putting it in anyway. So we 3-bet here and we got 2 callers. So it's not going to be a GTO spot. GTO's just going to bomb me off. And then we get this flop. So the question here is, and please put your comments to this one in the chat below because I think this one's interesting. I'm also going to post it in the Discord. If you're not in my Discord group, click the link beneath the video to join. It's starting to get quite a bit of traction. It's starting to get more. It was quite quiet at first, but it's starting to now just slowly but surely just mature, and more people are having the confidence to post hands, etc. So yeah, let me know in the comments what would you do here, multi-way. You flopped a 2 overs, which may or may not be much use. flush draw and a good shot to the nuts. What are you doing? I elected to go with big bet, which I think might be a mistake. I just kind of like my attitude was, well, I'm all in, aren't I? You know, I've got such a strong draw. I'm just all the fuck in. I think probably though smaller is going to be a lot better. Just betting like 10, 12 blinds. I think this is probably a mistake going this size. I didn't really care because I was just like, well, I'm all in. Doesn't matter. But I think if we bet smaller, we just get called. We can just go bigger on turns. So I don't like my size here. Doesn't matter because he goes all in anyway. And then he goes all in too. And I'm like, well, I'm all in, aren't I? I'm all in. So all the money goes in. We have an enormous pot. And I don't know why that's saying 609 blinds are in the pot. It just isn't true. That's just not true at all. 322 blinds in the pot. Turn, very disappointing. River, the nuts. Now, do we chop or do we win the lot? We were up against Rivered set of queens. So that was hard to find. That queen was really hard to find. And a flop set of jacks. So that was just your standard speed poker cooler or 3-bet pot. Top set versus overpair versus nut draw. And then we were lucky and we won it. We were the ones that the dealer chose today. Next hand, King 10 suited. We open, we get 3-bet small by this player who thinks a reg, but I mean, what is this? I think this is raising a question that I'm interested in people answering in general. So again, if you're not in the Discord, even if you are in the Discord, please answer this in the comments if you don't mind. Quite often you'll get spots like this that just say this guy done this to say 7 blinds from the small blind. Then you try and plumb this into GTO Wizard, and because he's only using 7 blinds, it's going to affect our strategy quite markedly, isn't it? You know, if this is small blind and he 3-bets to 12 or 11 like he's supposed to, then we can put that in GTO Wizard and analyze it properly for us. But when he uses really small sizes, obviously we're going to have way more defense against them, and maybe some more 4-bets. It just messes things up massively. So what is your default strategy versus like people when they use these sizes that are too small? How much do you widen your range when people make these like really small 3-bets? Rather, usually, if we say your cutoff or button, small blind 3-bets, you open the cutoff to 2.5, and the small blind 3-bets to say 8 blinds, or the big blind 3-bets to 8 blinds. How much are you changing your strategy? Due to the fact that they made a smaller size. So that's just a question for you all. Anyway, as played in this game, we elected to go with a 4-bet. Normally in this spot, if he'd 3-bet to 7.5, I'd make this 20. But because he only made it 6, I've gone to just 18. He calls. We get pretty rubbish flop, but we've got backdoor, straight draw, backdoor, flush draw, and it's a 4-bet pot. We have the initiative. I'm just putting in about a quarter pot here most of the time. I actually got less than a quarter pot, or just about a quarter pot. Villain calls. Turn 4 diamonds. I guess I'm just giving up. Check. Villain bets. And we fold. So let's have a look, see how we got on there. We're in this 1-tick zone, which is fine. I can live with that. Pre-flop, we open up a course. 3-bet. This is a 4-bet 75% of the time. We found it. Villain calls. Okay, so it actually wants bigger bets here. Because my default here is just, fuck it, quarter pot. Fuck it, quarter pot, that'll do. It wants half pot here. I wonder which global size, because it wants half pot without a hand here. Wrong thing. I wonder what overall flop C-bet size wants to be. They're only checking 13%. Half seems to be what it wants to do generally anyway. Doesn't want quarter. I wonder what. So we do choose quarter. being a moron. Hang on. Oh, stop it, Reg. Stop it. Don't, Reg, don't be shit. Right, get rid of this. Start again. Don't be shit, Reg. It's tough being me. Have pity on me. Well, actually, I did go with quarter, didn't I? So I'm fucking this up now, aren't I? Fucking this up. I did go with quarter. So what is in its quarter pot size? Still a lot of hands, isn't it? So it's just doing it at a higher frequency for half, isn't it? So a quarter, same hands, but half more frequently. Okay, not gonna lie, I haven't really learned a lot from that. I guess just because we're betting bigger, we can just have more hands in there. I guess. And then turn, we just check. He bets. We just have a pure give up. Happy days. On to the next one. Ace King. You open. Small blind 3 bets. That's exactly what we just talked about. Exactly what we just talked about. Because when we plug this into GTO Wizard, it's going to treat this as like 12 bigs, but it's not. It's this size. So, yeah. Again, if you haven't commented yet, in this exact spot with this Ace King, obviously we're just going to 4-bet still. One would imagine nearly all of the time. But if we didn't have Ace King, you say we had a hand that would typically want to fold, how many of those hands are now coming into your defending range because his size is like clearly nowhere near GTO. So, say you had a hand here that just, well, we'll have a look and see who wants to fold on the flop, and then we'll see how many of those hands we maybe need to continue with against this lower size. Anyways, we'll play the hand out first. We do 4-bet, villain calls. We get an ace high flop. Villain checks. I know I'm going to go quarter pot here, but maybe we just go bigger. I go even less than quarter pot. I go like 20%. Calls. Turn jack. Check. And I know I'm just going to go small again. Whether that's correct or not, who knows? 4-bet pot's not my strong point. We bet. He goes all in. I'm like, right, okay. We probably lose, but call anyway. Because that's what shit regs do. 5 river. He had ace queen. And I think we've probably blundered there. I think we've probably blundered on bet sizing. I don't think turn will be a fold though, but I think we've made some bet sizing errors there. But let's see. And of course, we just got ticks all the way because I'm a fucking idiot. Well, I'm not an idiot. It's just hard. It's just difficult, like knowing what sizes. To you, I'm not bothered if I get sizes wrong. It's frequencies. If I get frequencies wrong, I'm bothered. If I get sizes wrong, I can live with it. Small blind does 3-bet. Of course, we're 4-betting. It won't just to go to 26 because it's imagining. Or is it imagining? Is he actually having his size right? Let's have a look. Straight away. What's it classing his 3-bet size as? Yeah, it's just calling it 12, isn't it? So it wants us to go to 26, but we didn't. We went smaller because his size was a bit shit. Maybe we still just go to 26 anyway. Flop. We went with less than 25%, but it's classing it as 25%. Turn. It wants to go 25% again. It's classing our size, which is much closer to 1/3, as 25%. He goes all in. We're supposed to call. And yeah, nothing much else to analyse there. Played it better than I thought I'd played it. King, Queen, offsuit. Open. There's a theme here, isn't there? Going to be a lot of 3-bets coming on this channel. A lot of 3-bet hand reviews until I get better at them. Small blind cold calls, button folds. Just going to range bet this flop versus the cold call range. It's going to have like probably plenty of like ace, queen, maybe even ace king. Not that they should be, I don't think, but for people who do cold call in this spot, it's going to be like probably a lot of like pocket pairs, Broadway hands that I was dominated. Probably not many Broadway hands that don't I was dominated. I'm just going to bluff here a lot. I know I am. I did bluff. Villain called. Turned a heart. I'm probably going to continue bluffing now. We've turned some equity. And he folds. So I'm happy with how I played that hand, but is the wizard happy with me? It's fair to say the wizard is not happy with me. We 3-bet. Villain call calls. Flop. Check. Pure, basically. Doesn't like the bet. Turn. Wants half pot. What size did I go? I went too small. Wants half pot on this turn. Would have got me 2 ticks, but at least I got the frequency correct with the bet. On the flop, we got the frequency very wrong, but as played, we then got the frequency correct on the turn. So yeah, I don't like having the inaccuracies, to be honest, but they're not wrong moves, at least. Even though this is basically a wrong move because we're only betting 7% of the time. It was in there, so it's just an inaccuracy. But yeah, not overly happy with that. But you know, that's why we're doing this, isn't it? We're doing this stuff to learn. On to the last hand. We open King Jack suited. We get 3-bet to a large size from cutoff. We're going to 4-bet and calls. Flop a complete airball again, but like backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw. I already know I'm going to see bet about a quarter, maybe slightly less. Villain calls. Turn 8 diamonds. I went all in here because we started with slightly shallow stacks, and we had basically just like not much over a pot size bet left. I think I maybe would have gone all in even if we still had 100 bigs here. So we started to pot 100 bigs deep. We're going to be left with, yeah, we're still going to be left with about 70, aren't we? Yeah, I think I would have gone all in here no matter what. Stack depth, as long as we weren't like majorly deep. We go all in. Villain folds. This is the last hand. Let's see how we did. So we have another inaccuracy, and this time it's the flop. So I guess we're just not betting the flop, I would presume. No, we are betting the flop. We're just, again, just like using larger sizes. This quarter pot stuff I'm doing in 4-bet pots doesn't seem to be particularly fashionable right now. We want to be doing half pot. Oh, it's something I want to look at the end of this hand. Turn, it's preferring half pot again, but all in is in there. And I would just probably use all in here, to be honest. I mean, pretty obviously, if we half pot, we're calling it off anyway. Well, let me just double check. We'll run the entire hand. He folded. Do we get to the flop? So imagine we did half pot the flop instead, and villain called, and then the turn came the 8 of diamonds. What's our strategy then for betting? It's going to be checking and all in, pretty much. So yeah, basically, I'm quite happy with that. So just half pot flop, and when we turn equity jam, I like that. Whereas we used this, didn't we? We went with that. Called 8 of diamonds. It just doesn't want jam anymore. It just wants like big bet. Sorry, half pot. So we do go half pot. Villain goes all in. But clearly never folding, I imagine. King Jack of diamonds. It's gone off the screen, but it's calling pure. So yeah, happy days. So there we go. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I felt a little bit lethargic this morning. I've been struggling with vertigo symptoms or vertigo symptoms over the weekend. So apologies if this has been a little bit lethargic. My head's not been in the game as much. It wasn't really in this session as much, but I wanted to make another video. So yeah, apologies if it has felt a bit lethargic. We'll be back with full energy with Owen tomorrow. Keep your eyes peeled for that. Until then, take care and bye bye for now.